Hello and welcome to Blogsprout. I'm LJ and today I'm going to go through my income report for month 13. So this is the start of a new year for the site. It is currently, when I'm posting this video, January 2023. The site was started in January 2022. So if you want to see the last 12 income reports, you can check out the playlist above. And let's jump into it. I will say it was a very good month, so I'm really excited for this year. So as usual, this video is going to cover the general milestones, the number of articles that were written, the page views, go through the Search Console results of Bing and Google, look at the backlinks that I've acquired, go through the income, expenses, and then end it with a recap of lessons learned and problems I've run into this month. So if we look at the milestones, the goals for month 13 were to create 30 articles, get over $400 in affiliate revenue, reach 70,000 page views, get $2,000 in ad revenue, maintain over a $30 overall EPMV. I wanted to update relevant articles and start a social strategy. So as you can see, compared to last month, I really did a good job with these goals. I hit 30 articles. I had over $400 in affiliate revenue. The page views were up. The ad revenue was actually up. The EPMV is on a trend down, but the overall is just over 30. I didn't put a check on number 6 to update relevant articles because I only updated a couple, and there's probably 20 or so that need and require updating. So I didn't fully check that because I'm not finished, and I did start a social strategy. So it's been a busy January. So the major activities is that I started my social media accounts and a strategy. I attempted a PR outreach to news sources. So this was 2 campaigns. I essentially had 2 articles that I thought were worthy of trying to share to other resources. I reached out to 5 journalists, never heard back. I'm sure that's too few, but I'm still learning how to approach this. So at this point, I think it might be too late to continue reaching out to more journalists, and maybe I can hope that I'll gain some backlinks just by people searching for this through Google as a nice resource. But it wasn't as successful as I'd hoped, but I'm also very new to this, so there's a lot for me to learn. One of the other things I did was I bought another domain with an alternate spelling with 301 redirect. That's one to protect my brand and to prevent, basically a knockoff or someone misspelling it, whenever they're trying to look for it. And I actually got that idea from the Income School guys with their new Terrain Treaders site. It's a public case study that they're starting. They bought multiple domains to protect that brand. And so I thought that was a good idea just to get an alternate domain. So the articles, I did reach exactly 30. So I would like to have more, but 20 of these were kind of evergreen as I normally publish with the 1,000 to 1,500. Some are a little low, some are a little higher. It all depends, but it's generally in that range. Then I had 10 what I would consider news articles, and some of them were as short as 300 and up to 700. And if if you watch my social media strategy video, which you can check out now, I am attempting to write articles and create opinion pieces based on things that I'm seeing talked about in the industry, whether it's just from other users on Reddit or it's a major news source. So those are the kind of articles that I'm trying to target. And then I updated 2 of the articles. As I said, I have 10 to 20, somewhere in that range, articles to update, and I got through 2 of them. So if we look at the page views, if we take a look at Google Analytics, I'll move my image. In the dark blue line, we see the current month, and in the light blue, the dotted line, we see previous month. So you can see that those page views were over. It was 61,000 users with 83,000 page views. So I love to see it. Traffic overall was up. If we look at month at Ezoic month over month, we'll see that again, same type of trend. Visits were up 20%, page views up almost 23%. Everything was up in terms of metrics of getting to the site. So that's a really, really good sign for the future of this site. And if we look at the overview, it's been pretty flat for the last, probably since September-ish. We saw that bump in September with all the updates, the helpful content update. I was really excited that I was going up, then it went down, then continued to go down for a few months, got a huge drop at the holiday season. And then I forgot what happened at the, and then Bing de-indexed my site and then re-indexed it, and I've kind of been on a little bit of an uptrend. It's a little higher than it was at the end of 2022. I would really like to see it get up to those metrics in the middle of September. That would be a really healthy place for this site. So if we look at the traffic sources, I know that I'm a bit unusual, as many people have commented, that I'm not getting 90% of my traffic from Google. I'm only getting 50, at most 60%. So you can see on the right is actually the current month, and on the left is the previous month. So it actually went down percentage-wise on Google, slightly up in Bing, about the same in DuckDuckGo, about the same for Bing. You can see there was a bit more direct traffic, which is what's covered by the block. That is traffic that is directly to my domain, and that possibly could be from the social media strategy. It's not a huge gain, so I can't really attribute it to that, but it's possible. So no major changes here. So let's look at the Search Console results. So here's the overview through January 2023. As far back as I was indexed, I have 360,000 clicks and almost 15 million impressions. Average position is at 10 across all of this, but it's a little more meaningful to look at month 13. So month 13 versus 12, I had about 7,000 more clicks, which is good. At least it's showing an upward trend. The average position was up as well. If we look at Bing, this is the overview. Bing doesn't let you go back as far as possible. So I went to, looks like August, and there I almost have 50,000 clicks over this period, and approaching 1 million impressions on that period. Again, we see that that dip in December. But that average position I'm at 4, I'm really happy. It's almost 7% click-through rate. That's really good. And considering my site's bringing a lot of traffic, I want to stay high in those rankings, and I seem to be holding them. You can see that, in October, November, there kind of was a decrease. But after my site was re-indexed, it seems like I may be on a slightly upward trend to kind of return back to that increase that I was at the end of 2022. But again, we will see. So month 13, 8.6 thousand clicks. Again, my average position of 4 and that 6.6 click-through rate are about what I've been getting consistently. So if we look at SEMrush, the keywords, it estimates my traffic at 32.6 thousand visitors for informational. We know that is underestimating based on the other metrics, but it looks like my informational content is actually a little bit higher. The keywords that are informational is higher than before. It's been about 75, so not much higher, but I have gone through most of the transactional articles to this point that I have targeted. I eventually will target more transactional keywords as I gain more authority to become more competitive in those spaces and get affiliate revenue. But I want to finish some of the informational topics to get that topical authority before I do that. So if we look at SERP features, again, it still looks like I don't have those featured snippets anymore. It's claiming that the keywords went down, the image pack went down, the images itself went down. It's definitely odd, and we'll see that later on when we look at the domain authority from SEMrush, it also went down. which I think is odd because my traffic's going up. That usually is slightly correlated, but I don't quite understand how SEMrush really analyzes these things. So keyword positions, though, this is what's unusual, is that everything is pretty much good other than the new section. So the amount of new keywords is lower than the previous period, but more have improved, less have declined, and less have been lost. So you'd think that lead to, better domain authority. So if we look at the backlinks, according to Uber Suggests, it looks like I did gain about 300 backlinks and quite a few more referring domains, but strangely enough, my authority went down. Again, I have no idea why or how. You'd think more backlinks would increase the domain authority, but I'm just here to present what's happening with my site. I don't necessarily know why. I do my best to explain why, but something like this, I don't know. So we look at SEMrush. I used to be sitting, according to SEMrush, which I thought was too high, was at like a 41 authority score. And now it's saying 15. 15 seems more reasonable for where my site is at. So I'm wondering if there was some glitch or error that was causing it to be so high before. SEMrush backlinks, again, they did go up very slightly. There's more domains, less backlinks themselves that were increased, but I don't know where they're coming from, to be honest. So it looks like I'm starting to get a few more backlinks from a little bit higher authority sites. I really want to get some more backlinks at those higher sites, and that's what the social media PR strategy is for. Specifically to get big news sites to use my data as a resource and link back to it. I have a ton from 0 to 10, not unusual for a small site, but I think compared to previous months, I'm getting more in that middle range, which I'm happy to see is trending in the right direction. But since I don't, other than this social media strategy that I don't think is working, I don't do any other link building. So the higher I rank in SERPs, the more likely I'm going to get those backlinks naturally. So Google backlinks, it actually said I lost just over 100. So I don't love to see that, but I took a look at what type of backlinks are in there, and it didn't seem like any of my social media or PR strategies worked. I didn't have any great backlink in there, which is kind of unfortunate. And when we look at Bing, that seemed to go up about 100. So when it comes to these backlinks, I don't know if I'm going to continue showing this information. I feel like I should just report the Google because it seems to be all over the place. All of these sources that I use are so different. I'm getting 3,000 down to the 100. So I don't know what is most accurate. My guess is Google is the one that matters most and is most accurate, because since Google does bring in so much traffic, it's good to know. But at the same time, I get a lot of traffic from Bing as well. So it's a good number to be aware of. So let's look at income, everything you've been waiting for. So the total income is almost $26,000. Not quite. $2,594.22. Not bad. But what you'll see is, compared to previous months, I actually took home a lot more, and we'll go into why that happened. So if we look at the ads overview, this is Ezoic dashboard. So this says how many visits you had, how much you earned from just regular Ezoic ad partners, how much you earned from mediation, which is through Google AdSense, and then the premium ad partners. So I got $1,400 from just Ezoic ad partners, $350 from Google AdSense mediation, and $350 from the premium partners. So something that happened is that I was actually downgraded to a different plan on Ezoic Premium. So what this caused was a few different things. One of the big concerns is it caused the ePMV to go down. The way that Ezoic's premium tier works is that based on your Ezoic ad partners earning, you'll be in a group. So because I was trending downwards, I was losing money in the Ezoic ad partners category. So Ezoic then downgraded my account to a plan that costs half as much, but doesn't allow me to get as high of a return. Um, So that caused EPMV to go down. But if you're aware of anything that's going on in the, on the ad index, you know that with the likely recession that we're entering and just the economic crisis, these ad rates are down anyway. So what we see here is the EPMV compared to last month was down 15%, but oddly enough, the revenue was up. Wasn't quite even 2%, but with a 15% EPMV decrease and the revenue going up, that means that the visits are really outweighing that EPMV decline. I had a 20% growth in visits, but a 15% decrease in EPMV. So that 20% increase accounted for those lower ad rates. So if we look at Google AdSense again, we saw it was 351. This is the pattern. Interestingly enough, towards the end of the month, I seem to see a bit of an increase, but it looks like at the end of January, I could be approaching getting back into the higher tier for Ezoic Premium. So Amazon affiliates, it was a good month for affiliates. I made $430 basically for Amazon affiliates. So here's the graph. It seemed to be a little bit on a downtrend through January, but the products that people ordered were expensive. I had a couple really good days where, people would do a bulk order and order a bunch of different items. There. So you can see I have almost 12% conversion rate. That's really good, at least I think. If you disagree, let me know. Obviously, it's only a 24-hour cookie, so you're hoping for a high conversion rate because there's not a lot of time for customers to buy things. But the shipped items revenue is $11.5 thousand. That was purchased through my link. According to Amazon, everything they're making, that's drop in the bucket, but to me I think it's pretty good, and there's 360 ordered items. Pretty cool. So that other affiliate that I have, I made just under $20 from it, again hoping that increases, but it seems to be pretty consistent around there right now. But I did run into a problem with them that I'll talk about at the end in the next section. So if we look at the EPMV, if we're just looking at the ad earnings, it was $27. So I didn't reach that $30 EPMV that I target, but with the affiliate income, it was just over a $30 EPMV at $32.65. So I'm happy to see that I'm at least maintaining that over $30 with the affiliates. But it is unfortunate to see the EPMV, down 15% that we saw. So if we look at expenses, the reason I took so much home this month is because my expenses were less than $100. So in previous income reports, I've had to pay $440 in Ezoic Premium. But the way that Ezoic works is if they downgrade you after you've made a payment, it basically applies that credit to the next month. So if we look at the Ezoic Premium, I only paid $40 in Ezoic Premium. The plan I'm on is $220, but because of when they moved me over from the $440 to the $220, it covered most of the expenses this month. So I basically paid for the premium for this month last month. My VA, I only paid about $42, and then I said I bought that extra domain. So I bought that domain for a year with the 301 redirects. So if we look at monthly profit, it was $2,502.58. That is the most I've taken home in a single month in quite some time. If you've been following these income reports, I've been sitting around at just over $2,000, which I'm very happy with. But it was a nice surprise to, see with the decreasing EPMV rates that I actually took home so much in January 2023. So lessons learned. So the problems, there actually were quite a bit of problems. This is all learning process. But I have zero experience in PR outreach. I have no idea how to write an email. I don't know the proper way to reach out. Some mention Twitter, there are emails. So that's a complete learning curve. I don't know how to even make an email I sent click worthy or worth it, and who to reach out to. It's totally foreign to me. So I'd call that a problem. And I couldn't keep up with my social media strategy. I aimed for one reel a day and one news article a day. I kept that up for the first 10 days, but after that, I was burnt out. I wasn't getting enough return. One of my reels has got maybe a couple thousand views on it, which isn't bad, but it's not converting. Nobody's coming to my site. Nobody's following me on Instagram. So I think it's a long process, and I have to reevaluate that social strategy. The next bullet point refers to that other affiliate I have listed earlier on in this presentation. They emailed me saying that the coupon codes, which is what these affiliate offers were redeemed, but I wasn't given the appropriate commission. So everything I've reported is only what they have, recorded the commission for. Apparently, I responded and they said they're going to try to look into it, see where they were redeemed, and try to backtrack the commission. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that there's a bunch of extra commission coming in the future. I don't expect it to be any more than another $20, per those months, but maybe I'm wrong. Because I guess there are two different versions of the coupon that I had on my site. Half of them were working, half of them weren't. So hopefully they'll come back soon with some good news. So another problem was I was downgraded the Ezoic premium plan. It wasn't really a problem because it made me take home more, but it keeps those overall EPMVs a bit lower, so your return on investment is lower. And then just EPMVs are down, and that's something that we're going to have to continue to watch. So lessons learned. The biggest lesson is just social media and PR are really difficult. It's not really much of a lesson. It's more of a realization and reevaluating my strategy and what I plan to do, because it really is a lot of effort. And I stretch myself a little too thin trying to keep up with that strategy. So I'll probably have to make a new video on how I want to proceed. So I'll end this with the goals for month, that's supposed to say month 14. These are pretty similar month over month. I still want to reach those 30 articles, averaging one a day. Since I reached that $400 in affiliate revenue, I want to keep that. I'm going to strive for 80,000 page views, reach that 2,000 in ad revenue, really try to either push affiliate content to maintain a $30 EPMV, and then I'm going to update the rest of those relevant articles that need to be updated and try to really grow backlinks in social media. I don't know how I can, say whether or not I've achieved those last two goals. But the continued watch outs as they were last month are the EPMV and ad rates. Hopefully I can see that bump back up, and then just AI, what continues to happen throughout the entire year with that. If you're unfamiliar, Bing has, invested and is going to have an integrated like Chat GPT. I don't know a lot about it, but considering I get a lot of traffic from Bing, that could be slightly concerning, because if this AI can answer the question without using my information, it'll take away that traffic. And right now, I would say that most of my information can't be pulled from ChatGPT. At least that's what I've tried. It's either vastly inaccurate, or they say it just doesn't have that information, which is great for me. But it's not far from being able to be answered in AI. So again, thank you for watching. This was my month 13 report. And as, if you haven't watched the rest of my videos, check those out. You'll be able to see everything from month 1 to now to see how I've progressed through this whole thing. And I think I'm going to do this on a year by year baseless. So if you want to see like the entire process, with page views and earnings and everything, you can find that in the month 12 video. And I'm going to kind of restart now, and then I'll start to compound what happened over the course of the year. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found this interesting. I try to get to every comment that you guys post, but I also have recently announced a community, which is a Discord chat where I will be very involved in. If you ask questions, send messages, it's kind of a place for everybody to collaborate, but also to interact one-on-one with me. So you can check that out in my membership for my YouTube channel. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.